Welcome, dear listener, to Sleepy Survival Stories, a quiet place where the world grows dim and the heart grows gentle again. Tonight, you don't have to climb anything. You don't have to prove your strength or solve the hard knots of the day. You are here to rest and to drift slowly through a high and holy landscape of human endurance. Imagine a mountain under starlight, so tall it seems to touch eternity. The air is thin, the sky is close, and the snow glows like pale incense on the temple floor. Up there, above 8,500 meters, the world becomes simpler and stranger at the same time. Climbers call it the death zone, not because the mountain is cruel, but because the human body is made for breath, and up there, breath becomes a small, precious prayer. Tonight's journey is about something many survivors whisper about afterward, with wide eyes and humbled voices. Hallucinations at 8,500 meters. Not the loud kind of madness you see in movies, but the quiet, tender kind that arrives when the brain is starving for oxygen and sleep. When the mind, doing its best to protect you, begins to open little doors between waking and dreaming. At those heights, reality can soften around the edges. A shadow can look like a friend. A gust of wind can sound like a voice saying your name. A fold of snow can seem like a pathway home. And yet, even here, even in the thinnest air, there is beauty. There is mystery. There is the astonishing truth that a human being can keep moving, one slow step, one careful breath, through a world that feels like another planet. Some climbers have spoken of a companion walking beside them when no one was there. Others have seen lanterns in the distance, as if a village waited in the clouds. Some have heard music soft and far away, where only the wind should be. Tonight, we will move through truths like these, one by one, like beads of a warm rosary sliding through calm fingers. We will not rush, we will not shout, we will simply witness what the high world can do to the human mind, and what the human spirit can do in return. So settle deeper into your blankets, like a safe sleeping bag zipped against the night. Let your jaw unclench, let your shoulders fall away from your ears, and if it helps, take a slow breath in. Hold it gently, and let it go, as if releasing a small feather into the dark. The mountain can be a mirror. At 8,500 meters, it shows not only fear, but devotion. Not only confusion, but courage. Not only the fragile limits of the body, but the quiet, shining persistence of the soul. Now, we begin, softly, as the stars keep watch above the frozen cathedral of the world. At 8,500 meters, the air is so thin it feels like breathing through a veil of silk. Each inhale is smaller than you expect, and the body learns humility with every step. In that quiet deprivation, the mind begins to conserve what it can, turning ordinary effort into sacred labour. High above the valleys, where clouds drift like slow prayers, a climber does not rush. They listen to their own breath the way one listens to a candle flame. And in that listening, something tender happens. Your awareness becomes simple, uncluttered, almost holy. If you feel your own breathing now, let it soften. Let it be enough. The mountain teaches that enough is a kind of peace. Hallucinations often arrive like visitors who do not knock. They come when exhaustion has worn down the walls between waking and dreaming. A climber may glance to the side and see a figure standing still in the snow, so clear it startles the heart, only for it to dissolve into wind and light. This is not weakness. It is the brain trying to make meaning while starved of oxygen and warmth. In the death zone, the mind reaches for companionship like a hand reaching for a railing in the dark. And there is a gentle lesson here. Even when you are strong, you still long to be held. Tonight, let the blankets hold you. Let the night be kind. Above, 8,500 meters, sleep becomes fractured, like a hymn sung in broken lines. A climber closes their eyes for minutes, not hours, and wakes with the strange certainty that time has folded in on itself. In that half-sleep, Dreams spill into waking, colours too bright, voices too close, memories replaying like soft echoes in a chapel. The mountain does not allow deep rest, so the mind invents its own small comfort. It paints warmth where there is cold. It offers images of home like a lantern in fog. And as you rest now, you can welcome your own gentle drifting. You do not need perfect sleep to be restored. Even fragments of peace can heal. One of the most common high-altitude visions is the sense of a companion walking beside you. Climbers have described a presence matching their pace, as if someone invisible is sharing the burden. Sometimes it feels protective, sometimes simply familiar, like an old friend who says nothing, yet understands everything. In thin air, the mind may create this company to keep the will from collapsing under solitude. And still, the feeling can be comforting, even sacred, as if the mountain itself has sent a quiet guardian. Tonight, if you feel alone in any way, imagine a gentle presence near you, not to demand anything, only to remind you are not abandoned. Light behaves differently near the top of the world. Snow reflects starlight, and moonbeams turn ridges into glowing silver scripture. In that shimmering brightness, shadows can look like doorways. Ice crystals can sparkle like drifting spirits. A climber, already fatigued, may see movement in stillness, an illusion born from glare and strain. The eyes search for certainty, but the mountain offers only mystery, and perhaps that is part of the gift, the acceptance that not everything must be understood. Let your mind loosen its grip tonight. Let questions rest. Like snow settling after wind, your thoughts can settle too, quietly, without explanation. At extreme altitude, the brain struggles to read reality with its usual clarity. Depth perception can bend, making distances feel deceptive. Near things seem far, far things seem near. A ridgeline can appear like a gentle slope, and a gentle slope can look like a wall. In this confusion, hallucinations can bloom, small visual errors that become stories. A climber may think they see a campsite ahead, only to find empty snow. The mountain teaches carefulness, yes, but also patience with one's own senses. If your mind ever feels uncertain, treat it tenderly. Tonight you don't have to navigate anything. You're safe, you may simply drift. The cold at 8,500 meters is not just temperature, it is a presence, a slow, biting silence that presses into every seam. Fingers grow numb, and even the face feels like a distant place. In such cold, the mind may seek warmth so desperately that it conjures it, imagining a stove flame, a cup of tea, a sunlit wall. Some climbers have reported smelling food that wasn't there, or feeling heat on their skin when the air was brutal. The brain is trying to comfort the body, like a mother humming to a child. Tonight, let comfort be real. Feel the warmth of your bed. Let it be a true mercy. Oxygen deprivation can make thoughts drift like loose prayer flags in wind. A climber may forget what they were doing mid-step, or feel time stretch and shrink. Simple decisions become heavy, like stones carried in the chest. In this mental fog, hallucinations can slip in gently, blending into confusion. An imagined voice, an unreal instruction, a false certainty. That is why climbers rely on ritual. Step, breathe, check, repeat. The body becomes a liturgy of survival, and tonight your own ritual is simple. Breathe in, breathe out, and let the day release its hold. Your only task is rest. Sometimes hallucinations are not frightening, sometimes they are strangely beautiful. A climber may see the sky ripple with colours, as if dawn is painting the world from the inside. They may glimpse patterns in snow that look like sacred symbols. They may feel the mountain humming, as if the earth has a heartbeat they can finally hear. These experiences can be the mind's response to stress, yes, but also a reminder that wonder can arrive even in hardship. Your life too may have moments like that, beauty appearing where you didn't expect it. Let that thought calm you. Let wonder be a soft pillow. There is a phenomenon climbers call the third man, a sensed presence that appears in desperate conditions, offering comfort or guidance. It has been reported in polar expeditions and high mountains alike. At 8,500 meters, where the line between life and fading is thin, that presence can feel close, almost intimate. Some survivors speak of it with reverence, as if grace walked beside them when they could not walk alone. Whether it is brain chemistry or something beyond explanation, the effect is often the same: they keep moving. And that is the quiet miracle. Tonight, you don't need to keep moving. You may let yourself be carried by rest, gently, safely, into sleep. As you listen, let your breathing slow, like a careful climber placing each step with reverence. Feel the gentle weight of your blankets, warm and steady, like a trusted shelter pitched against the winds of the day. The world outside can be loud, demanding, unfinished, but here, in this quiet hour, nothing is required of you. Imagine a small lamp glowing in a high tent, its light soft on frost-lined fabric. Imagine the mountain far away, holding its silence. And with each exhale, let a little more of your effort melt and run away, like snow warmed by dawn. You're safe to rest. You're allowed to drift. At 8,500 meters, the body can begin to swell with invisible trouble, especially the brain when oxygen is scarce. Thoughts may feel thick, like honey in cold air, and the world may tilt into strangeness. A climber might laugh at nothing or weep without knowing why, or stare at a simple knot as if it were a riddle from heaven. In this haze, hallucinations are not merely images. They can be warnings, the mind's candle flickering in a storm. The mountain teaches compassion for fragility, and tonight you can offer that compassion to yourself. You don't need to be sharp right now. You only need to be gently present. Auditory hallucinations can be the most intimate, because a voice feels like it belongs to someone. In the wind's long exhale, climbers have heard their name spoken, or distant singing, or footsteps that match their own. Sometimes it sounds like a radio crackling with messages meant for another life. The brain, hungry for oxygen and companionship, stitches sound into meaning the way a tired child turns shadows into stories. And still, there is something tender here. The heart longs to be called, to be known. If your mind is busy tonight, let it hear something simple and true. The hush of this moment, the steady rhythm of your breathing, the quiet assurance that you're held by rest. In the death zone, even the simplest shapes can become sacred illusions. A rock can look like a kneeling figure. A ridge can resemble a doorway cut into the sky. Snow drifting across a slope can seem like a procession of small spirits moving toward dawn. Goggles frost over, vision narrows, and the world becomes a half-seen painting. The mind fills the missing pieces, not to deceive, but to survive. And there is a spiritual symbol hidden here. We all complete our worlds with hope. Tonight let hope be gentle, not urgent. Let it be a quiet light that asks nothing, only comforts. Some hallucinations arrive as an invitation to stop. A climber may feel sure there is a warm room just ahead, a bed, a familiar voice calling them to lie down. It can feel peaceful, even beautiful, like surrender wrapped in velvet. This is why partners watch each other closely, why they speak softly but firmly, why they guide with love. Because survival sometimes means refusing a false comfort for a true dawn. And in ordinary life, the lesson is kinder. Rest is holy, but giving up is not the same as resting. Tonight, you are not giving up. You are restoring. You are gathering strength in the quiet so your tomorrow can rise like morning. At extreme altitude, the mind can become strangely certain about impossible things. A climber may believe they are already at the summit when they are not, or feel convinced that camp is only minutes away, though it is hours. This false certainty can be as dangerous as fear, because it encourages careless steps. Oxygen-starved reasoning becomes like a compass near magnetic rock, still turning, but no longer true. The mountain teaches humility again. Even your confidence must be tested gently. Tonight, you don't need to be certain of anything. You don't have to solve tomorrow. Let your thoughts loosen, like gloves unclasped at the end of a long day. In this bed, in this hush, you're allowed to not know. Climbers sometimes report seeing vivid colours where the world should be only white and blue. The sky may bloom with impossible gold. The snow may shimmer with reds and violets, as if stained glass has been scattered across the slopes. This can happen when fatigue and hypoxia change the way the brain processes light. But the experience can feel like a blessing, like a hidden sunrise meant only for the weary. And perhaps that is a symbol for life itself. Sometimes the hardest places reveal unexpected beauty. If your days have been heavy, let this thought warm you. Beauty does not always arrive in comfort. Sometimes it arrives in endurance. Tonight, you may rest into the promise that gentle colours can return. The body's dehydration at 8,500 metres can sharpen hallucinations like a dry wind-sharpening stone. Water is hard to melt, time is short, and thirst becomes a quiet ache behind the eyes. In that condition, the mind may imagine rivers, cups and fountains, soundless, streams that glitter just out of reach. Some climbers have sworn they could taste sweetness on the air, as if a drink awaited them beyond the next ridge. The brain is pleading for mercy, and the spiritual insight is simple. Need makes us honest. Tonight, let your needs be simple too. Let your body sink into comfort. Let your breath be your drink, steady and calm, filling you softly, as if each inhale is a small sip of peace. Above the clouds, the horizon can feel like the edge of the world. There are moments when a climber looks down and sees nothing but a sea of white, rolling gently beneath them like an endless blanket. In that vastness, hallucinations can become a kind of storytelling, an imagined shoreline, a distant city, a trail of lights. The mind tries to place familiar landmarks inside the unfamiliar, and in that, there is a tender truth. We all search for home, even when we are far from it. Tonight, you do not have to search. You are already home in your bed, in this quiet, in this slowing heartbeat. Let that safety settle in. The wind at 8,500 metres can speak in many tongues. It whistles through gear, hums against helmets, and shakes ropes with a low, vibrating song. When the mind is exhausted, these sounds can transform into chanting, into music, into footsteps, into conversation. A climber may turn their head, sure someone is behind them, only to find the empty slope. The mountain becomes a choir made of air and ice. And the peaceful reflection is this: not every sound needs an answer, not every thought needs a response. Tonight, if your mind produces noise, let it pass like wind over a ridge. You can remain still, you can remain safe. There is a particular kind of hallucination born from loneliness, a feeling that someone you love is close by, just out of sight. Climbers have reported sensing a parent, a partner, a friend, as if that person's care has travelled upward into the thin air. Sometimes it brings tears, sometimes it brings courage. The mind reaches backward into love when the body is reaching forward into survival. And this is one of the sweetest truths of endurance. Love becomes fuel when oxygen is scarce. As you rest now, you can let love surround you too, whether it comes from someone you know or from the quiet goodness of life itself. Let it cover you like a soft, invisible quilt. As you breathe, imagine the mountain's cold air becoming warmer as it moves into your lungs, like a blessing transformed. Let the stories you've heard settle like snowflakes, each one landing softly without urgency. Your body knows how to rest. Your mind can learn again tonight, the way climbers learn to trust a steady step. Inhale slowly, exhale gently. hold you, patient and kind as the next truths unfold. At 8,500 meters, even memory can begin to blur, as if your past is written on paper left out in snow. A climber may forget the order of simple tasks or lose track of why they stopped. In a fragile space, the mind sometimes fills in gaps with imagined scenes, like remembering a conversation that never happened, or believing you already clipped into a rope you have not touched. These are not failures of character. They are the brain's tired attempt to keep a story intact. And there is a gentle spiritual lesson. You're not your perfect clarity. You're deeper than your sharpest thoughts. Tonight, you can let your mind be imperfect. You can let it drift and still be safe. Some hallucinations are tactile, felt, not seen. Climbers have described the sensation of a hand on their shoulder, a tug on their sleeve, or a gentle push as if someone is guiding them away from danger. In the high world, where gloves and layers dull sensation, this can feel startlingly real. The mind, strained and starving, creates touch the way it creates light, as comfort, as warning, as companionship. And for the listener in bed, there is a soft comfort here, because touch, real or imagined, reminds us we were made for connection. If you feel the weight of your pillow, the warmth of your blanket, receive it as true care. Let it be enough. The summit zone can make the simplest objects seem enchanted. A carabiner might look like a silver charm. A rope might appear like a long ribbon leading into heaven. Even the ice axe can feel like a staff of pilgrimage, carried not for conquest, but for passage. At such heights, hallucinations can weave into this sense of myth, turning the climb into a story older than the climber. And perhaps that is why mountains move people. They awaken the part of us that understands symbols. Tonight, you don't need an ice axe or a rope. Your only tool is your breath. Let it guide you down into comfort, step by gentle step, towards sleep. There is a danger at 8,500 meters called apathy, where the will grows quiet and distant. A climber may stop caring about gloves, about zippers, about safety, because the mind is too tired to protect itself. In that state, hallucinations can offer an easy answer. Sit down, close your eyes, let the cold do the rest. This is why survival is often communal. Partners speaking, checking, insisting on small actions with gentle urgency. The spiritual insight is simple and bright. Love is sometimes a voice that says, keep going when you cannot say it yourself. Tonight, no one needs to urge you forward. Here, keeping going means resting fully. At high altitude, faces can appear in places they do not belong. A climber may look at a slope and see features, eyes, a mouth, a faint expression, formed by rock and shadow. The brain is wired to recognize faces, because faces mean safety, meaning, story. But in the death zone, this gift can misfire, painting companionship onto emptiness. And still, it reveals something tender about being human. We are designed to seek one another. Tonight, you can imagine a kind face, not in the snow, but in your heart. A face that looks at you with patience. A face that says, without words, you may rest now. Many hallucinations at 8,500 meters involve warmth and shelter. Climbers have reported seeing a cabin, a tent glowing, a doorway with light spilling out, visions that feel like salvation. The mind knows what the body needs, and it paints it in the air like a prayer. These visions can be dangerous on the mountain, but here in your bed, they can become a soothing symbol. Imagine a small refuge, wooden walls, soft lamplight, a quiet corner where the wind cannot enter. Imagine that refuge is within you, always available. Let your breath open its door. Let your thoughts step inside. Let your spirit sit down, gently, like a traveller who has finally arrived. In thin air, even time can hallucinate. Minutes can feel like hours. Hours can vanish like breath in cold. A climber may believe dawn is coming when it is still deep night, or or feel sure they have been climbing forever when only a short while has passed. The mountain stretches perception the way wind stretches clouds, and the peaceful insight is this: time is not always a strict ruler. Sometimes it is a soft river. Tonight, you do not have to measure anything. You do not have to count progress. You can simply float on the slow current of rest, letting sleep arrive when it wishes, like a gentle visitor. Chapter 28. The sound of one's own breathing at altitude can become strange, loud, mechanical, unfamiliar. Through an oxygen mask, the inhale and exhale can feel like the rhythm of a distant machine. In that steady hiss, some climbers begin to hear other things: a second set of breaths, a whispered reply, a harmony beside their own. The mind, seeking companionship, turns rhythm into relationship. And for you tonight, there is comfort in rhythm too. Listen to your breathing. Let it be your lullaby. Inhale, exhale, a simple hymn with no words, sung by your body to your soul. At 8,500 meters, the sky can feel near enough to touch. Stars burn with sharp clarity, and the Milky Way spills like a river of frost across the darkness. In that beauty, hallucinations sometimes take the shape of visions, angels, lights, distant fires, moving points that seem to signal a path. The mind, overwhelmed by the vastness, tries to translate it into something personal. And perhaps that is not entirely wrong. The heavens do speak in their silent way of how small and precious life is. Tonight, let the stars be a reminder. You are part of something vast, yet you are cared for in the smallest ways, by warmth, by breath, by quiet. Survivors often say the most unsettling hallucinations are the ones that feel completely normal. A climber may have a full conversation with someone who is not there, exchanging calm words as if nothing is strange. Only later, when the mind clears, does the memory look like a dream. The mountain can blur reality so gently that it feels like slipping into sleep while walking. And that is why mountaineering at these heights is so sacred and so severe. It demands presence when presence is hardest. Tonight you are allowed to do the opposite. You are allowed to slip gently into sleep. Let your mind soften without fear. Let your body sink safe and supported into the quiet dark. As the last thought settles, imagine your breath as a slow flag fluttering on a calm summit. Steady, patient, unhurried. Let your shoulders melt. Let your eyelids grow heavy if they wish. There is no cliff air, no storm, no thin air, only a peaceful night opening its arms around you. As you rest, imagine each chapter like a warm stone placed carefully in a circle, one small piece of shelter built in the dark. Feel how the ideas do not demand your effort. They simply arrive, then fade like clouds moving across a quiet moon. If your mind wanders, let it wander softly. If your thoughts flicker, let them flicker like a candle that is safe behind glass. Inhale slowly and exhale longer, as if you're letting go of the day's altitude, descending into gentleness. You do not need to climb tonight. You're here to be held by stillness. At 8,500 meters, the line between inner and outer worlds grows thin. A climber may see a path in the snow that isn't there, or feel certain that the mountain is speaking in signs, an arrow of wind, a symbol in ice. The mind tries to guide itself when maps and strength are fading, and sometimes those imagined signs can feel like mercy, a sense of direction when everything else is uncertain. The spiritual lesson is quiet and kind. Even in confusion, you are still seeking light. Tonight you may stop seeking. Let the darkness be gentle. Let it be a soft cloth laid over your thoughts, quieting them until they become still. Oxygen hunger can make emotions swell like sudden weather. Joy can appear without warning. Sorrow can rise like mist. A climber may feel immense gratitude for a single sip of water, or sudden grief for a remembered voice. In this emotional intensity, hallucinations can take on feeling. an imagined companion who feels comforting, an imagined danger that feels overwhelming. The mountain shows how fragile the mind can be, and how sacred it is that we keep going anyway. If emotions have been heavy for you lately, you don't need to fight them tonight. Let them be like snowfall, present, soft and temporary. Underneath, you remain warm. Some climbers report the sensation of being watched at extreme altitude. Not in fear, but in awe, like standing in a great cathedral where silence has eyes. The vastness of the mountain can make a person feel small, exposed, and strangely known. In hypoxia, this can turn into a hallucination. A figure on a ridge, a shadow behind a rock, a presence in the corner of vision. But there is also a comforting symbol here. You are not invisible. Your struggle matters. Your endurance is witnessed, even if only by the stars. Tonight, let the idea of being seen become gentle, seen with compassion, not judgment. At 8,500 meters, simple mistakes can multiply because the brain's editing function grows tired. A climber may misread the slope, clip the wrong loop, forget a step they've done 1,000 times. In that vulnerability, hallucinations can slip into routine, an imagined click of a carabiner, an imagined confirmation that all is secure. That is why partners double check and why humility keeps people alive. And here in bed, the lesson becomes soothing. You do not have to be perfect to be safe. You don't have to check every thought twice. You can let your mind loosen. You can let the night do the work of holding you. Frost and glare can create mirages, sparkling distortions that dance at the edge of vision. A climber may see movement in a field of snow, like a distant animal or a small group of people walking. When they look again, it is only wind lifting crystals into the air. The mountain can be a mirror of the mind. What you expect to see shapes what you think you see. And the spiritual insight is tender. Expectation can be softened. Tonight, you don't need to anticipate anything. You don't need to scan the horizon for trouble. Let your body relax into certainty. The next moment is quiet. The next breath is gentle. The next stretch of time is yours to rest in. High-altitude hallucinations can also be rooted in sound deprivation. Above 8,500 meters, the world is often muffled. Snow absorbs noise, wind dominates, and human voices are rare. In that silence, the mind sometimes supplies what it misses: laughter, conversation, music, a loved one calling from below. It is as if the heart refuses to be entirely alone, and that reveals a holy truth. Connection is not a luxury, it is part of survival. Tonight, even if you are physically alone, you can still feel connection in small ways. The rhythm of this narration, the steady rise and fall of your breath, the quiet sense that you are part of the human family, resting together under one sky. Some climbers describe a dreamlike overlay, where their surroundings seem to double. One layer is the real mountain, the other is a place from memory. They may see the outline of a familiar street in the slope of ice, or imagine a doorway where there is only rock. The mind, exhausted, drifts into nostalgia as if reaching for warmth, and perhaps nostalgia is a kind of prayer, a longing for what is safe and known. Tonight, let your memories be gentle, not sharp. If a face or place comes to you, let it pass like a soft cloud. You are here, now, in safety. Your bed is your base camp. Chapter 38. At 8,500 meters, even the body's signals can hallucinate. Hunger may disappear entirely, or suddenly roar like an urgent alarm. A climber might feel bursting energy for a moment, then collapse into heaviness. This unpredictability can make the mind feel untethered, and in that untethering, visions can grow stronger, because the brain is trying to regain balance by creating certainty. The mountain teaches surrender to the moment. You adjust, you accept, you keep moving carefully. Tonight, you do not need to adjust. You can surrender fully. Let your body choose stillness. Let your mind choose quiet. let your spirit choose peace. There are reports of climbers seeing lights at extreme altitude, headlamps that aren't there, small fires in the distance, glowing points that seem to move. Sometimes it's starlight refracting through ice crystals. Sometimes it's the ice fatigue creating sparks, but the experience can feel like hope made visible, tiny beacons in a vast cold world. And this is a symbol worth keeping. Even when your mind is tired, it still searches for light. Tonight, you don't need to search. The light can be inside you, small, steady, enough. A quiet warmth behind the ribs, a calm breath moving in and out like a lantern's gentle pulse. Hallucinations can also carry instruction, imagined voices telling a climber to turn left, to stop, to hurry, to rest. In the death zone, discernment becomes a sacred discipline. You learn to trust your partner, your training, your simple checks. More than the strange messages of a starving brain, the mountain demands humility and community. And for your life, the reflection is soothing. Not every thought is a command. Not every inner voice must be obeyed. Tonight, if thoughts arise, you may let them pass without action. You can simply breathe and rest and drift as the night continues to unfold. At 8,500 meters, the body can feel like it belongs to someone else. Hands move slowly, as if underwater. Legs lift with delayed obedience. A climber may look down and feel surprised to see their own boots, their own gloves, their own shadow. This strange distance, this gentle detachment, can invite hallucinations too, because the mind is trying to reunite with the body it can barely manage. And here is the spiritual symbol. In suffering, we sometimes feel separated from ourselves. Tonight you can come back home to your body with kindness. Feel your mattress beneath you. Feel the breath in your chest. You are here, you are whole, you are safe. At extreme altitude, the simplest comfort can become a miracle. The warmth of sun on a cheek, the steady pull of a rope, the sound of a teammate's voice through a mask. When those comforts vanish, the mind may recreate them, imagining sunlight where there is none, hearing reassurance in the wind. Hallucinations can be the brain's attempt to gift itself a small mercy, and the lesson is gentle. We were never meant to survive only on toughness. We survive on mercy too. Tonight, receive the mercies already around you. Quiet, warmth, stillness. Let them be enough. Let them carry you as a steady hand carries a cup to thirsty lips. Some climbers report seeing animals at 8,500 meters, birds, dogs, even small creatures that cannot exist in that thin, freezing air. These visions can feel strangely normal, or as if the mind is recalling older landscapes, fields, villages, places where life is abundant. The mountain becomes a canvas for longing, and the brain paints life onto emptiness. The spiritual insight is soft and bright. Even in barren places, the heart still believes in life. Tonight, if you have known emptiness, fatigue, loneliness, quiet sadness, remember this: your heart still carries seeds of warmth. Let those seeds rest tonight, like kernels tucked into earth, waiting for morning. At altitude, people can become deeply fixated on small tasks, adjusting a strap, checking a buckle, tightening a glove, over and over, as if repetition will summon safety. This is partly fatigue, partly fear, partly the mind clinging to something it can control. Hallucinations can grow in the spaces between these motions, because attention narrows until everything else becomes dreamlike. Yet there is a kind of sacredness in small tasks. Each tiny action is a vow. I choose life. Tonight you're small. Task is simple and gentle. Breathe in, breathe out, and let your body choose rest, again and again, until sleep arrives. The high world can distort the sense of distance between people. A climber may look at a partner and feel they are impossibly far away, even when they are close enough to touch. Voices seem distant, faces seem blurred, as if separated by glass. This isolation can trigger hallucinations of companionship because the mind resists being alone, and the reflection is tender. Closeness is not only physical. Tonight you can feel closeness in quieter ways, the shared human experience of exhaustion, hope, endurance. Somewhere, another person is also lying down, also breathing slowly, also seeking peace. You are part of a wide, quiet communion under the same sky. At 8,500 meters, many climbers describe a sense that the mountain is alive. Not in a frightening way, but in a profound way. Like standing near a great sleeping animal, immense and ancient. In hypoxia, this sense can become a hallucination. The mountain breathing, the ice shifting like a rib cage, the wind sounding like a slow voice. Whether true or not, it reveals something spiritual. Nature can awaken reverence. Tonight, you do not need to fear vastness. Let vastness soothe you. Imagine the earth holding you the way the mountain holds snow, steadily, patiently, without rushing. The mind at altitude can confuse dreams with memories. A climber may remember a conversation from earlier that never took place, or feel sure they received a message that was never spoken. The boundary between what happened and what was imagined becomes thin as paper, and in that thinness, hallucinations slip in like ink spreading on wet pages. The mountain teaches a quiet discipline. Return to the simple present. Rope, breath, step. Tonight, you can return to your present too. You are in bed, you are warm, you are listening, you are safe. Let that truth be the anchor that steadies you like a tent. Stake in deep snow. Some hallucinations at 8,500 meters carry a strange gentleness, like the mind is trying to soothe itself rather than alarm itself. A climber may see a soft light, or feel as if someone is guiding them with kindness. Even in the harshest conditions, the brain can attempt tenderness, and that is worth honouring, because it suggests something beautiful. Inside a human being, even under extreme stress, there remains a desire to comfort, to protect, to love. Tonight you can practice that same tenderness toward yourself. Speak to your own heart as you would speak to a weary traveller, softly, patiently, with compassion. You have done enough for today. At great heights, the act of stopping can feel like falling asleep while standing. A climber pauses, and suddenly the body begs to close its eyes. In that moment, hallucinations may bloom. Warmth, music, rest, familiar places, because the mind is sliding towards sleep. The mountain makes sleep dangerous, because stillness can become surrender. This is why climbers keep moving, even slowly, even painfully, because movement is life. And tonight, you are blessed with the opposite truth. Stillness is life. Your bed is safe, your pause is holy. Let your eyelids grow heavy if they wish. Let your breathing deepen. Let stillness become your shelter. There is a moment spoken of quietly among survivors when the mind feels both emptied and illuminated. The world becomes a narrow tunnel. Breath, step, breath. And yet within that tunnel a strange clarity can appear. Not the clarity of perfect thinking, but the clarity of meaning. The climb strips away noise until only essentials remain. Life is fragile, love is real, mercy matters, and every breath is a gift. At 8,500 meters, hallucinations may swirl at the edges, but the heart can still hold a simple truth like a candle in wind. And tonight, halfway through our journey, you are invited to hold your own candle too, small, steady, peaceful, resting in gratitude, resting in grace. As we continue, may each new truth arrive like snow falling outside a tent, soft, gentle, and far away, until sleep, unhurried and kind, begins to take your hand. After the summit push begins, hallucinations can intensify, because fatigue stacks like layers of ice. The climber may see their own footprints and mistake them for another team's trail, feeling sudden relief that someone else is guiding the way. The mind clings to signs of company, because solitude at that height is heavy. Yet the mountain teaches discernment. Not every trail is true, not every comfort is real. And still, the longing is sacred. Tonight, your comfort is real. Your bed is real. Your warmth is real. Let your body accept it without suspicion, and let your mind rest from searching. Some climbers experience micro-sleeps while moving, brief, involuntary dips into sleep that last only seconds. In those seconds, dream images can flash like lantern slides, a kitchen table, a childhood room, a face smiling in sunlight. Then the eyes open again to ice and wind. This sudden collision between dream and reality can feel like a hallucination unfolding in daylight. The mountain becomes a place where sleep tries to claim you even while you walk. And the gentle symbol for you tonight is simple. Here, you may surrender fully. Let your dreams come without interruption. Let them be soft and harmless, like clouds drifting over distant peaks. At 8,500 meters, a climber's inner dialogue can become loud, even when the world is silent. Thoughts repeat, words loop, phrases echo like a mantra that won't release. In hypoxia, the mind can get stuck, turning one worry into a spinning prayer wheel. Hallucinations can slip into this looping, adding imagined messages or false urgency. The mountain teaches a quiet remedy. Return to the body. Breathe, step, check. Tonight return to your body too. Feel the rise of your chest. Feel the gentle weight of your blanket. Let thoughts loop if they must, but let your attention rest on breath. Steady, simple, calming. Climbers sometimes report seeing stairs carved into the snow, as if the mountain has built a pathway upward. This can happen when wind shapes drift into lines, and the tired brain turns lines into structure. The mind loves order. It craves a clear route. In life, we crave that too. Clear answers, clear steps, clear certainty. But the mountain reminds us, sometimes you must move without perfect clarity, trusting only the next small action. Tonight you don't need stairs, you don't need a route. Sleep will come the way dawn comes, quietly, gradually, without needing to be forced. At high altitude, the sense of smell can also deceive. Some climbers have reported the scent of smoke, cooking or flowers, impossible fragrances in frozen air. The brain, deprived, reaches into memory to provide comfort. It is as if the soul opens a cupboard and finds an old spice, an old sweetness, an old warmth. And there is a tender lesson here. Memory can be a refuge, but it should not pull you away from safety. Tonight, let memory be gentle and passing. If a pleasant scent comes to mind, receive it like incense in a quiet room, then let it fade as you sink deeper into rest. In the death zone, a climber's world can narrow until it feels like living inside a helmet. Vision tunnels, hearing dulls. The mind focuses on a few urgent details and lets the rest dissolve into haze. In that narrowed world, hallucinations can appear at the edges, shapes, flickers, figures that vanish when stared at directly. It is the brain's tired lens struggling to keep the picture whole. And the spiritual insight is gentle. You do not have to see everything tonight. You don't have to hold the whole world in your awareness. Let your attention narrow to peace. Let it rest on the simplest thing. A slow breath, a warm blanket, a quiet heartbeat. Some climbers experience a strange feeling of floating at extreme altitude, as if their body is lighter than it should be. Steps feel unreal, like walking in a dream. This sensation can drift into hallucination, believing you are gliding above the snow, or that gravity has loosened its grip. The mountain becomes a place where the body's usual rules soften, and for you tonight, floating is a blessing. Let your muscles release, let your limbs feel heavy, then lighter, then simply neutral. You don't need to carry yourself for a while. The bed carries you, the night carries you. you are allowed to drift, weightless in comfort. At 8,500 meters, even the act of eating can feel strange. Chewing is effort, swallowing is work. Appetite disappears like a lost trail. In that depletion, the mind may hallucinate feasts or familiar meals, bread, soup, fruit, warm tea. The body's hunger becomes a quiet vision of abundance, and the symbol is tender. We long not only for food, but for nourishment in every form, kind words, gentle company, peace. Tonight, let nourishment be simple. Let each inhale feed you with calm. Let each exhale empty you of tension. You are being restored in small, steady portions. In the high world, climbers sometimes mistake clouds for ridgelines, and ridgelines for clouds. The boundary between sky and earth blurs, and orientation becomes uncertain. In that blur, hallucinations can feel like landmarks, a camp that isn't there, a path that dissolves on approach. The mountain teaches that perception is not always truth, and that lesson can soothe you tonight. Not every anxious thought is a prophecy, not every fear is a fact. You may let worries drift like cloud wisps and return to what is real: warmth, quiet, breath, safety. There is a particular hallucination called the call of the void, where the mind suddenly imagines stepping into emptiness, not from desire, but from strange, intrusive thought. At altitude, the brain can misfire, offering images that do not reflect the heart. Climbers learn to treat these thoughts like gusts, present, unsettling, and passing. They do not obey them, they simply hold steady. And tonight the reflection is comforting. Stray thoughts do not define you. Your mind may produce odd images when tired. Let them pass without fear. You are in a safe place. You are held. You are guided by gentleness. Some climbers, deep in hypoxia, report seeing themselves from outside, like watching their own body move across the snow. This out-of-body sensation can feel spiritual, as if the soul has stepped back to witness endurance. Science may explain it as a brain under stress, but the emotional truth remains. It can humble a person, reminding them how precious life is. Tonight, you don't need to step outside yourself. You can come closer, place a gentle attention on your chest, your belly, your breath. Return inward like a pilgrim returning to a quiet shrine. You're here, you're alive, and you're allowed to rest. At 8,500 meters, climbers may become convinced they hear a helicopter, a rescue, salvation arriving, only to realize it was wind and wishful listening. The mind clings to hope in familiar shapes. It wants rescue to have a sound. And there is something holy in that longing, even when it misleads, because hope is the soul's refusal to surrender. Tonight, let hope be quieter. Let it not strain its ears for rescue. Let it rest in a simple truth. You are already safe. You do not need saving in this moment. You only need sleep, and sleep is already on its way. The cold can numb not only skin, but judgment. Fingers fumble, zippers fight back, and frustration can rise like sudden heat. In that strain, hallucinations may appear as shortcuts, imagined ease, imagined completion, imagined relief. The mountain teaches patience with the stubbornness of reality, one slow action at a time. Tonight, let patience wash over you. Nothing needs to be fixed, nothing needs to be zipped or tightened. You can let your body lie open to rest, like a tent finally settled, its fabric quiet in the still air. Some hallucinations take the form of instructions from loved ones, imagined voices saying, "Come here," or "Sit down," or "It's okay now." They can feel tender, persuasive, like permission to stop. Climbers survive by recognizing the difference between true guidance and hypoxic comfort. They choose life, even when rest calls sweetly. And for you tonight, there is a gentle reversal. Here, rest is true guidance. Here, stopping is safe. If a soft inner voice says, It's okay now, you may believe it. Let that permission settle into your bones. Let your breathing deepen. Let your mind drift closer to sleep. At 8,500 meters, the sun can feel like a miracle even when it barely warms. A thin band of gold rises over distant peaks, and the world glows for a moment like a sacred painting. In that light, hallucinations sometimes soften. Reality sharpens slightly, as if dawn is a gentle medicine. Yet the mind can also exaggerate the beauty, making the sunrise feel like a doorway into another world. The spiritual insight is simple. Light changes what we can bear. Tonight, you don't need the sun. You have your own gentle light, the quiet awareness that you made it through the day. Let that awareness glow softly, then fade, like a candle being lowered in a calm room. Exhaustion at altitude can create a strange kind of laughter. Quiet, inappropriate, unplanned. Climbers have reported giggling at simple things or smiling at emptiness because the brain's control systems grow tired. In that loosened state, hallucinations can follow like playful shadows, odd images, harmless distortions, moments that feel unreal. It is the mind trying to cope with strain by bending into softness. And there is a lesson here for your own life. Sometimes we survive by finding gentleness, even in the hardest places. Tonight, let your face soften. Let the muscles around your eyes relax. If a small smile appears, let it be a quiet blessing. You're allowed to feel lightness. At 8,500 meters, climbers may become deeply attached to a single object, an oxygen bottle, a rope, a glove, because it represents life. The mind clings to what feels certain. In hypoxia, that attachment can turn into hallucination, believing the object is missing when it's in your hand, or believing it's full when it's nearly empty. The mountain teaches careful checking, gentle realism, and in bed tonight you can release the need to check anything. You don't need to count supplies, you don't need to monitor progress. Your supply is breath, and it is flowing. Your rope is the rhythm of this night, and it is steady. Let yourself trust the simplicity. Some climbers report seeing people in the snow who seem calm, seated, resting, almost inviting. These can be hallucinations shaped by the mind's desire to stop. They can also be memories, grief, stories of those who did not return, echoing in the high air. The mountain holds many histories, and sometimes the mind senses that weight. The spiritual reflection is reverent. Human life is precious, and endurance is not only strength but humility. Tonight, honor life by resting well. Your sleep is not weakness, it is stewardship. It is the gentle care you offer your own body and spirit. At extreme altitude, the sky can look unnaturally dark, almost black, because the air is thin and clear. Stars sharpen into points, and the void beyond feels close. In that darkness, hallucinations can take the form of moving lights, drifting shapes, the sense of something passing overhead. The mind tries to animate the emptiness, because emptiness can feel too vast. And yet, there is peace in vastness too. Tonight, imagine the dark sky as a soft ocean above you, not threatening, just wide. Let its wideness make your worries feel small. Let your thoughts float away like tiny boats in a calm sea. Hallucinations can also arise from the simple act of turning one's head. At altitude, the inner ear is affected, balance shifts, and dizziness can paint the world with motion that isn't there. A climber might look up and see the ridge tilt, or feel the ground move. In that disorientation, the mind adds images to explain what it cannot stabilize. The mountain teaches slow movement, gentle posture, careful breath. And you, tonight, can be wonderfully still. Let your head sink into the pillow. Let your body be supported from every side. You do not need balance when you are resting. The bed is your steady ground. Some climbers describe hearing bells at high altitude, soft ringing like a distant monastery. Others hear chimes, or a thin metallic music drifting through wind. It can be auditory hallucination, born from hypoxia and the constant hiss of oxygen systems. But the experience can feel holy, like the mountain itself is praying. And perhaps that is a gift. Even the mind's errors can become moments of reverence. Tonight, if you imagine bells, let them be gentle and slow. Let them mark not urgency, but peace. Let them remind you that this hour is sacred, a quiet sanctuary for sleep. At 8,500 meters, climbers sometimes misinterpret their own emotions as external signals. Fear feels like danger nearby. Sadness feels like something is wrong. Even when conditions are stable, the mind becomes an amplifier. Hallucinations can merge with this, turning emotion into imagined events. The mountain teaches a steady practice. Check the facts, not just the feelings. Tonight you may let feelings be what they are, passing weather, not permanent truth. If a worry rises, notice it gently, then return to your breath. Inhale, exhale, like a calm tide. Your safety is not a feeling, it is real. There are moments at high altitude when a climber feels as if the world is made of glass, fragile, shimmering, ready to crack. This can come from exhaustion, from cold, from the way light bounces off ice. In that sensation, hallucinations can appear as cracks, shadows, sudden shifts that aren't there. The mind is stressed, and it sees stress in everything. The spiritual insight is compassionate. When you're tired, the world can look harsher than it is. Tonight, let your tiredness be met with softness. Let the room be gentle. Let darkness be a blanket, not a threat. Let sleep repair the lens through which you see life. Some climbers report a powerful sense of being called toward the summit, even when turning back would be safer. Hypoxia can intensify desire, making ambition feel like destiny. Hallucinations can feed this. Imagine signs of success, imagined applause, imagined certainty that I must continue. The mountain, however, honors wisdom more than pride. Many survivors live because they turned around, and tonight the reflection is tender. You don't have to push tonight. You don't have to prove anything. You may turn inward, away from striving, and choose rest. That choice is not failure. It is grace. As these truths settle, let your breath become slower, like a calm descent from high ridges into a sheltered valley. Imagine the wind quieting. Imagine the sky softening from sharp black to a gentler shade of the night. You are not on the mountain. You're safe here, held by warmth and stillness. If thoughts come, let them pass like snow grains drifting past a tent flap. Noticed, then gone. Your body already knows what to do. It knows how to soften. It knows how to sleep, and you may simply allow it. At 8,500 meters, even the act of looking down can trigger strange visions. Depth becomes dramatic, shadows become endless, and the mind may imagine movement in the void, like figures climbing below or lights rising from the clouds. The brain struggles to interpret vast emptiness, so it fills it with story. And the spiritual symbol is gentle. When we stare too long into what feels bottomless, uncertainty, fear, the unknown, our minds create shapes that aren't truly there. Tonight you don't need to look down into anything. Let your eyes rest. Let your attention rest. The only depth you need is the depth of your breathing, slow and safe, carrying you downward into sleep. Climbers sometimes speak of confetti snow, tiny crystals blowing across the ridge in sunlight. In fatigue, those crystals can appear like sparks, insects, or drifting ash. The mind tries to label what it sees, even when it is simply wind and ice. Hallucinations often begin as mislabeling, turning a harmless shimmer into something alarming or meaningful. The mountain teaches a quiet skill. Pause, look again, breathe, and let the truth settle. Tonight, you can do the same with your thoughts. If a worry appears, pause, breathe, Look again with kindness. Often it is only confetti. Small, passing, not a threat. Let it drift away. At extreme altitude, a climber may feel a strange urge to remove clothing, gloves, jackets, masks, because the brain misreads signals and imagines warmth where there is danger. This is a tragic illusion known in cold exposure, and it shows how the mind can betray the body when strained. But there is also a tender lesson. When we are overwhelmed, we may seek relief in ways that don't truly help. Tonight, choose the true relief that is safe. Warmth, stillness, breath. Let your body stay wrapped in comfort. Let your spirit stay wrapped in mercy. Rest is your protection. Some hallucinations are built from voices of authority, an imagined guide saying, "You're fine," or "Keep going," or "Stop here." The mind may borrow the tone of a leader to make its own thoughts feel trustworthy. On the mountain, climbers learn to double-check reality, to rely on agreed plans, to listen to teammates. The spiritual insight is gentle. We need wise voices. Tonight, let the wisest voice be the quiet one that says, "You are safe. You're in a place meant for rest." Let that truth become the soft command your body obeys. Let your breathing follow it, like a child following a parent's calm hand into sleep. At 8,500 meters, the cold can make tears freeze at the corners of the eyes. Emotion becomes physical. A climber may feel deeply moved by a simple kindness, someone offering a clip, a word, a steadying touch. In hypoxia, the heart can become raw, open, almost translucent. Hallucinations can mingle with this openness, bringing vivid memories of loved ones, moments of regret, moments of gratitude. The mountain strips life down to essentials, and love becomes loud. Tonight, if your heart feels tender, let that be okay. Let tenderness be a sign that you are alive, then let it soften, like ice melting under gentle dawn. Some climbers have described seeing a line in the sky, like a boundary between worlds. This can be caused by glare, fatigue, and the way clouds layer at altitude. But the experience can feel symbolic, as if you are walking between earth and heaven. Hallucinations often turn the mountain into a threshold, and perhaps the deeper meaning is this. We all live between worlds, between effort and rest, between fear and faith, between what we can control and what we must surrender. Tonight, choose surrender. Let the line you cross be gentle, from wakefulness into sleep, from tension into peace, from thinking into drifting. At high altitude, climbers can misjudge their own temperature. They may feel warm when they're dangerously cold, or feel cold when they are stable. The body's signals become unreliable. Hallucinations can follow, because the mind tries to explain sensations it cannot interpret. The mountain teaches carefulness, checking, humility. And tonight, you may trust the simplest signal: comfort. If you are warm, let yourself relax into it. If you need a small adjustment, a blanket pulled higher, a shoulder settling, make it gently, then return to stillness. You're allowed to listen to your body's quiet requests. They are small prayers for care. Some hallucinations are born from the stare, when a climber fixes their gaze on a single point in white landscape for too long. The eyes, lacking contrast, begin to create shapes. A shadow becomes a figure. A ridge becomes a doorway. The mind fills the blank page, and the spiritual reflection is soothing. When life feels like a blank page, we may invent stories, some fearful, some hopeful. Tonight, you do not need to write any story. You can let the page remain blank. Let the night be quiet paper. Let sleep be the gentle ink that writes nothing at all, only rest. At 8,500 meters, a climber's sense of identity can feel thin. You're no longer your job, your routine, your name spoken in warm rooms. You're simply a breathing being in a vast, cold world. In that stripping away, hallucinations may offer identity again, seeing yourself as a hero or as a child or as someone else entirely. The mind tries to anchor itself, and the sacred truth is this: you are more than roles, you are more than achievements. Tonight you may be only this, a resting human, worthy of peace. Let that simplicity soothe you, let it be enough. Climbers sometimes report an odd feeling that their gear is talking, a zipper complaining, a rope whispering, a carabiner clicking with meaning. This is the mind's pattern making under strain, turning ordinary sounds into language. On the mountain, this can mislead, but it also reveals something human. We're always seeking dialogue with the world. Tonight you can choose a simpler dialogue between you and your breath. Inhale, I am here. Exhale, I am safe. Let that be the only conversation you need. Let everything else grow quiet. At 8,500 meters, the body's heartbeat can feel loud, like a drum inside a small cave. Sometimes a climber becomes convinced the sound is coming from outside, another person nearby, an animal, footsteps. When it's only their own pulse echoing through fatigue, the mind misplaces what is internal and makes it external, and there is a gentle lesson. Sometimes the thing we fear out there is simply our own body asking for care. Tonight, listen to your heartbeat with kindness. It is not an alarm, it is a quiet witness. Each beat says, I am still here. Let it become a lullaby, steady and faithful as you drift. High-altitude hallucinations can include the sensation of arriving somewhere, at camp, at home, at a safe room, when you're still on an exposed ridge. A climber may feel sure they can sit down because they believe the danger is over. This is why partners keep speaking, keep checking, keep guiding one another with gentle firmness. The spiritual insight is tender. We are not meant to survive alone. We need voices that bring us back to truth. Tonight, let this narration be that gentle voice. You're already arrived. You're already safe. You do not have to keep going. You may let your body settle fully into the place, where rest is true. In the death zone, the brain can struggle to form new memories. Experiences become like snowflakes landing on warm skin, there, then gone. A climber may later have only fragments, a colour, a sound, a sensation of fear or wonder. Hallucinations can slip into these fragments, making it hard to separate what was real from what was imagined. Yet survivors often remember one thing clearly: the decision to keep moving, one breath at a time. And for you tonight, memory can be loosened. You don't need to hold on to today's details. Let them fade. Let your mind stop recording. Let sleep close the journal for the night gently, like turning down a lamp in a quiet room. Some climbers speak of feeling two minds at altitude, one part calm and practical, the other dreamy and confused. The practical mind says, clip in, breathe, step, while the dreamy mind drifts toward visions and false comfort. Survival depends on honouring the calm mind, the steady voice beneath, the fog. The spiritual symbol is comforting. Inside you, there is always a steady place. Even when thoughts race, there is a deeper calm that can be found through breath. Tonight, you can return to that calm. Let the dreamy mind float away like a cloud. Let the steady mind guide you into sleep. At 8,500 meters, shadows can stretch long and strange, especially under headlamp beams at night. A climber may cast a giant silhouette on a wall of snow, and in fatigue, that silhouette can seem like another person moving nearby. The mountain becomes a theatre of light and illusion, and the reflection is gentle. Sometimes fear is only a shadow, magnified by tiredness. Tonight, if you carry any fear, let it shrink in the warmth of your bed. Let it become small and harmless. Let it dissolve like a shadow when the sun rises. For now, the darkness is not an enemy. It is a soft cover for rest. There is a quiet grief that sometimes rises at extreme altitude. The awareness of how close life and loss can be. In that tenderness, hallucinations may bring faces of those who are gone, or scenes from the past, as if memory is reaching out for closure. Survivors often speak of these moments with reverence, not horror. The mountain becomes a place where the heart opens, and the spiritual insight is compassionate. Love does not end when it cannot be touched. Love can appear in memory, in dreams, in quiet inner images that comfort rather than harm. Tonight, if a loved face comes to mind, let it be gentle. Let it bless you. Then let it drift away, like a warm ember settling into ash. At altitude, climbers can become fascinated by the sparkle of ice crystals, staring as they swirl in wind like tiny stars. In that trance, hallucinations can bloom, seeing patterns, messages, even small scenes within the glitter. The mind, overwhelmed, finds refuge in beauty, and there is something holy in that. Beauty can be a shelter. Tonight, you can find shelter in simple beauty too, the softness of your pillow, the quiet cadence of words, the calm darkness behind your eyelids. Let your attention rest on something gentle. Let it be your small refuge, steady and safe. Sometimes hallucinations arrive as a feeling that you're being tested, as if the mountain is judging you, asking whether you deserve to pass. This can be the mind's tired interpretation of hardship, turning struggle into a moral trial. But the mountain is not a judge. It is a presence, vast and indifferent, yet capable of inspiring reverence. The spiritual truth is soothing. Your worth is not measured by your endurance. You do not have to earn love through suffering. Tonight, you're worthy simply because you exist. Let that truth settle. Let it calm the part of you that tries too hard. Sleep is a gift, not a prize. At 8,500 meters, a climber's lips can crack, their tongue can swell, their voice can grow weak. Communication becomes difficult. In that silence, hallucinations can provide conversation the climber cannot physically have. Imagined dialogues with friends, imagined advice, imagined reassurance. The mind speaks when the mouth cannot. And tonight, you can let your mind become quiet too. You don't need to explain anything. You don't need to speak. Let the night speak for you with its gentle hush. Let your breath be your only language, soft and slow, saying, peace, peace, peace. Climbers often describe the strange mercy of turning back. The summit is behind them, the danger still present, but the decision feels like a release, like setting down a heavy stone. At altitude, hallucinations may have urged them forward with false promises, but wisdom pulled them home. The mountain teaches that surrender can be strength, and tonight, surrender is your path too. Surrender the need to stay alert. Surrender the need to control. Surrender the day. Let your body sink deeper, like a traveller finally lying down after a long journey. You're safe to surrender to sleep. As you breathe, imagine the air growing richer as if you're descending into a valley of warmth. The wind fades, the glare softens, the world becomes gentle around the edges. Let each exhale be a quiet letting go, of effort, of striving, of the mind's need to make sense of everything. You have listened with a faithful heart. Now you may drift, as softly as snow settling after a storm, into deeper rest. At 8,500 meters, even the idea of finish can become a hallucination. The mind, desperate for an ending, may insist that the hardest part is over when it is not. Survivors learn to respect the long road down, because many dangers remain after the summit. The spiritual insight is tender. Life is not only about reaching peaks, it is about returning safely with your spirit intact. Tonight, you do not need a finish line. You do not need closure. You can simply rest in the middle of things. Sleep is not an ending. It is a quiet renewal, a gentle return to yourself. Some climbers report seeing a second sun or an extra moon, optical illusions intensified by fatigue and ice crystals in the air. The sky seems to multiply its lights. The world feels dreamlike, as if reality is repeating itself. And there is a soft lesson. When the mind is strained, it can create extras, extra fears, extra scenarios, extra burdens. Tonight, you may release the extras. You only need one thing: peace. Let peace be singular. Let your thoughts simplify. Let the night be one long, calm breath that carries you towards sleep. At high altitude, a climber may feel profound gratitude for the smallest kindness: a teammate waiting, a shared rope, a hand signal in the wind. In that gratitude, hallucinations sometimes appear as blessings, visions of light, imagined signs that say, "You will make it." Whether or not those signs are real, gratitude itself is powerful. It steadies the heart. It keeps the spirit warm. Tonight, you may practice gratitude gently, without effort. Grateful for your bed, for the quiet, for the fact that you are here, listening, breathing. Then let gratitude fade into calm, like a prayer spoken once, then released into silence. Survivors often say that hallucinations at 8,500 meters taught them humility. They realized how easily the mind can be fooled, and how precious clear breath and warm ground truly are. The mountain did not make them heroes, it made them human, tender, limited, and still capable of astonishing courage. And this is the beauty of the human spirit. It does not need perfection to endure. It needs patience, love, and small, faithful actions. Tonight, your faithful action is rest. Let it be enough. Let your body receive it like water. Let your mind accept it like mercy. In the thin air, some climbers speak of hearing their own conscience more clearly. Quiet truths rising through the fog. Be careful. Be kind. Turn back. Live. Even when hallucinations swirl, a deeper wisdom can remain steady underneath. The mountain becomes a place where the soul speaks softly. Tonight, listen for that deeper wisdom in you, the voice that does not panic, does not demand, does not accuse. It only invites peace. Follow it now. Let it lead you into stillness. Let it guide you down into sleep, where healing happens in silence. When climbers finally descend below the death zone, many describe an almost sacred relief, like stepping out of a storm into a quiet chapel. The air feels thick with life. Colours return, the mind clears, and they realise the mountain did not only test their strength, it revealed their dependence on grace. They survived not by force alone, but by mercy. Mercy from teammates, from timing, from the body's last reserves, from the quiet, stubborn will to live. And tonight, you have walked with that same mountain spirit, gently, safely, from the edge of hallucination into the arms of rest. You have witnessed endurance. You have honoured the fragile, beautiful human heart. And now, as the story settles like snow on a silent ridge, I want to thank you for walking this night path with me. You've travelled far above with the Himalayas' great mountain spirit, and you've returned without needing to climb a single step. You've listened to the thin air and the strange mercy of the mind, and you've seen how even in confusion the soul reaches for love and light. May you remember this. Even in your rest, you already conquered great peaks in the journey of life. Not every summit is made of ice. Some summits are made of patience. Some are made of endurance through ordinary days. Some are made of the brave decision to keep breathing, to keep loving, to keep believing that peace can return. If tonight's journey brought peace to your spirit, remember to like this video, subscribe, and share what great survival story you love to dream through next. And when you're ready, click the video on your screen to continue your endurance path to the summit. Another gentle night walk, another quiet chapter of human courage beneath the stars. Now let your eyelids be heavy, let your breathing be slow, let the room be your safe camp, warm and protected. May peace guard your dreams until morning, and may grace be the first light to greet you when you wake. Good night.